Hi everyone, Chris here, and today I wanted to chat a little bit about learning objectives and what sort of goes into writing a good learning objective. So before we get into that, I sort of wanted to mention what the purpose of a learning objective is. And when I look at design, I sort of look at two different purposes for a good learning objective or a good performance objective. And the first is um, a good learning objective describes what students will be able to do when they finish the course. And this is sort of like, I mean, it goes with the main learning goal, but it sort of breaks it down a little bit more. And this is important because we've all been in courses or gone to a lecture where the topic just sort of went every which way and it was just had no core, no purpose. And so the learning objectives help to narrow that down. Um, the second real purpose of a good learning objective is that from a design point, it sort of anchors the design process. So when you're writing assessments, you're looking at how do you measure the learning objective, and when you're getting content, you're looking at how do we get the students from where they are to the success as defined by the learning objective. So it sort of like builds that frame of reference. And there's three important parts to a learning objective. The first is the condition, and it sort of like sets the stage. So the setting, essentially. So the condition might be in a meeting or in the field or with a chef's knife. And sort of sets the stage for what the students are going to be able to do. The second is an observable behavior. And yesterday, Alex commented on the video about how Dick and Carey really does have that behaviorist kind of core to it, and it really does. And so for learning objectives, the way that they're popularized today, it really comes down to a observable behavior that you can measure, essentially. And then the last part of the learning objective is the criteria or the actual measurement. So you might have with a chef's knife, students will julienne a carrot with 90% of their julienne pieces falling within the measurements of a julienne carrot. I don't even know what those measurements are, but I know they're tiny and I know they're yummy. So I'm going to share a link to a little template shortcutty thing that I like to use when I'm tired. And it really helps you put in those three different components quickly and easily. Um, Another thing that I use sometimes is I use Text Expander actually to sort of do the same thing as this web tool that I'm going to share. And yeah, so there's a little bit more involved to writing a good learning objective, and it really comes down to that behavior piece. You really need to have good verbs. You really have to understand what you're actually teaching. Bloom sort of broke down different domains of learning and built a taxonomy in each of those domains. And maybe, you know what, we're going to talk about those three domains in the next couple of videos. And when you understand what you're teaching and what domain it's in, you can sort of look at what level you want to go to into detail for what you're teaching. And that's where the whole Bloom's taxonomy comes in. So we're going to hit Bloom's taxonomy. I think we'll start with the most popular and go to the least popular. And tune in tomorrow and we'll get started on that. And if you have any questions or comments, please let me know, especially if you have ideas for videos. I got a lot more to do. So thanks. Talk with you soon.